we become hostage to the patterns of things we do. Addictions form patterns in our minds. Even when we're sick and tired of it and don't want to do it anymore, we can't seem to control it and we do it anyway. These patterns need to be broken, and we can't do it on our own. We need Jesus. Jesus laid down his life for each and every one of us and took our sin and nailed it upon the cross. Jesus laid down his life so that we would not die in our own sin and go to hell. With addiction, you are not in control of your own life. If you were, you would be able to break free. And let me tell you, if you know anything about addiction, if you've ever been there, and yes, I have been there. If you've ever been there, and I'm talking about like addiction to street drugs and alcohol and there's all kinds of addiction, pornography, sex addicts, abusiveness. There's all kinds. You can take whatever your addiction is, whether it is hardcore street drugs or Mountain Dew. It's an addiction, and everything and anything in between. If you had control over your addiction, over those patterns that are formed in your mind out of habit, if you were in control, you would be able to stop, and you would be able to not look back, not depend on it, not have to go to a 12-step, you wouldn't have to do any of that, and or even pray. Yeah, you wouldn't even have to do that, because if you were in control, you wouldn't need anybody. But the fact remains that none of us are in control of our own bodies and minds. Though I know the world would say they are. Oh no, nobody controls me. I'm in control. Ain't nobody can tell me what to do or how to act or how to dress. I've heard it all because I've said it all myself. I am talking about in control of your mind, to break the bondage of those patterns of the addiction. Only Jesus can do that. And let me tell you, I wasted a lot of years of my life being hostage to my addictions. I really do have to share my testimony one day, but for now I will tell you this. I was addicted to pills. I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to cocaine. And I gradually went from sniffing it to smoking it. I was addicted to acid, alcohol. I can outswim any fish. I am not saying this to brag, because this is nothing to brag about. Oh, no. But this is where God brought me from. And there's just so much more that I can tell you. But in a nutshell, I think that's enough for now. You need to break free from the bondage. I'll give you an example. If you had handcuffs on, and I'm sure some of you know that experience if you've ever been arrested and handcuffed, been there. When you're handcuffed, and don't tell me you didn't try this, didn't you try to break free from it? Didn't you try to loosen it? Didn't you try to slip out of it? Didn't you try? Yeah, you did. I know I did. Well, when you are in bondage and you are held hostage by those handcuffs, you are held hostage by your addiction. And no matter how hard you try to break free, you can't. Not on your own. But guess what? With Jesus, who, by the way, holds the key to the kingdom. And by the way, he went to hell and took the keys away from Satan. So only Jesus, he is the one and only who has the key that can uncuff your handcuffs that are holding you hostage to your addictions. So why not let him in? Let him in. Invite God into your heart, into your life that's a mess. And just tell him how much you believe in him and how much you love him. He will set you free. Oh, yes, he will set you free. I believe it's John 8:36 that says, who the Son sets free is free indeed. Oh, yeah, and the Son is Jesus. Praise his holy name. I hope this touched somebody. I hope this message helps somebody. Because if you have an addiction, and okay, let me extend this just a little bit more. You can be a Christian, okay, and still have addictions, okay? Sometimes Christians think that they have their secret sin that nobody's gonna know as long as they don't talk about it or share it with anybody and do it behind closed doors. Let me tell you, God sees it, and a sin is a sin. So, but even Christians have addictions. And Christians, we fall, but we know how to get back up when you trust God, when you trust Jesus. Because we know that all we have to do is call on Jesus. Just tell Satan, take your mess, take your garbage, and get behind me. And then submit to God. Because He is the only one that can help you. Jesus is the only one that can set you free. And I mean free indeed. Oh, God bless you. I hope this really helps somebody.